You hear that?
I heard the
Yes.
dog.
I wanted to add something, but it slipped my mind. Maybe the dementia will let it come back. Give me a sec.
Microphone activated.
Right.
Oh,
Yes. With the AI behavior, is that something to know as any role that you play? The AI most certainly applies more than just human wave tactics. If you, as regular infantry, get to a wood line across the field from you, 500 meters, there's an enemy squad, you engage that, you win the firefight, it goes all quiet, or even you're having the firefight, and a characteristic telltale thing to watch out for is the single inaccurate, regular, rare PKM fire. When it's gone fairly quiet, but you keep hearing bang, bang, bang.
They're
That's a
ranging you.
No, that's a PKM gunner who's sitting somewhere shooting diversionary shots at your general last known position while other elements are rotating and flanking you. Expect to be hit from your left or your right by at least a fireteam sized element. They do this regularly and nobody ever fucking shoots and scoots as regular infantry. Like, if you take contact, you need to have reoriented within at least 5 minutes because you're going to get hit from your left or your right, and it's consistently happens and nobody reacts to it. So same thing when you're in an armor asset, obviously.
I never knew that was a thing, so
Yeah.
that's good to know.
They've consistently done it since I joined this server, like 12 maps ago or whatever, and nobody fucking uses that knowledge.
Yeah, also the AI, the system how AI works, at least in the server with the AI mods. So what you can do, there is also another point of shooting the scouts. So you engage this contact, yeah. You kill this vehicle or you kill this squad. You can hide behind the hill or whatever, some cover, so the AI can't see you anymore, and wait for a minute or two. While you wait, they are gonna forget about you, and then you can shoot again, peek, shoot, go back. They will forget about you unless they are too close to you. Then they're gonna remember you and hunt your ass. If you engage in yeah, go ahead.
A good strategy that I've found works very well, particularly as I tend to play on what's your American night shift, me being dirty, smelly Eurotrash. Something that you can very consistently use against the enemy is initiate contact, take out as many as you can quickly, upstick and get to a different position, not trying to get eyes on the enemy from a different angle, but get yourself to a position such that you have eyes on the position that you just abandoned. You can consistently expect the enemy to push not where you are, but your last known position. So if you can rapidly break line of sight and get eyes on where you were, you can very consistently ambush them again and again, shoot and scoot. If you look at the map just around where we are, cloverleaf pattern movement. So say that where the OP4 vehicle identification area is where we are, and we've started engaging from here. If we, after our quick engagement, do something like this, and we shoot from here, and then like that, and we shoot from here, and then like that. This is obviously exaggerated, but this is the general principle of a cloverleaf pattern. Every time we get to our new position, we're looking basically at the position we abandoned, trying to catch the enemy as they rotate, because they consistently do and it works. So,
Did you cover the mechanized stuff? How to use squads and stuff?
I believe so. I think we got the most of it.
Yeah. Did you cover the tactics, like how to use infantry with a vehicle and stuff like it, since we're gonna be doing a beach landing as first op?
Shit,
go ahead. Go ahead and cover stuff
shit.
there. I didn't really go into it. Do tell.
Yo, yeah, sorry, I spoiled it. Anyway, so if you are having mechanized unit, what I would advise to use, since vehicles will probably get targeted by everything, is push. Talk with the squad, tell him that he can push his guys forward to your right and left, up like 100 or 200 meters. That's gonna give you eyes on the front. When the infantry are engaged and they are laying down, finding cover, suppressing the enemy, You are to move forward front of the infantry about 100 or 50 according to where the contact is, and engage, or just move closer where you can see the contact. That's gonna provide the infantry with the IR shifting your eyes toward you, and the infantry are gonna have more easy times picking up those AI down one by one, and you're gonna be a big fire support help for them. If you
Also
are
gives
going,
them a sorry.
yeah, go
Also
ahead.
gives the infantry ability to, at that point, reposition. You can essentially bound with the infantry. Bounding means moving one at a time. In this case, it could be vehicle moves, infantry holds, infantry moves, vehicle holds. You can do stuff like that, but you got to coordinate that with the squad leader.
What you can do as well, if it comes that you are ordered to go inside the city, which I don't really advise, and it's bad because you are endangering the vehicle. What you can do is have one one fire team forward, like 1-4 guys fighting forward, and 1-4 guys fighting behind you. Basically, the 4 guys fighting in front of you are going to be 100 to 200 meters in front of you, and the fighting behind you is going to be the same distance. That's going to provide you with extra eyes from behind and the front, because inside the city you have rooftops, you have corners, you have corridors, you have stuff, and that the infantry is going to provide very help. Also, if there is any ID, you're probably going to be stepping on it before you do, so that's saving your vehicle.
Generally speaking, right, situations are very dynamic. Communication is key. Talk with the infantry, talk with the squad leader. Make up plans as you go, and no plan can survive contact with the enemy, so be ready to switch them up quickly. If you're taking a point, say a civilian village, it's not big enough for you, like Vampire said. 200 meters is a good place for the infantry to be, away from you. But if the town is only 200 meters long, what, you're going to sit on one end and they're on the other while the enemy's in the middle? So it might very well be a good idea for Butcher's going to hang back in this tree line, infantry's going to go in, we're going to try to hit anything we can with our coax. At such a time, Butcher is sort of verging on the edge of occupying an isolated position, which Butcher isn't supposed to do. It's perfectly reasonable for you to be in such a situation, but remember, at that point, when the infantry has been sent into CQB, if you're covering from outside, you're in a vulnerable position. Particularly the commander really needs to have his head on a swivel then to make sure you don't get snuck up on.
One more thing that you want to cover. There is mines on this server, and AT mines, and they can fuck you up. So if you are driving, keep your eyes, driving, organic commander, whatever, keep your eyes on mine signs, keep your eyes on round objects on the ground. They might be mines or they might be rocks. Just keep your eyes on.
Can Butcher carry mine detectors?
Yes.
No. They don't work.
Now, they do work for IEDs. They do not work for friendly placed AP or AT mines. I'm not sure if they work for enemy mines. They work
No.
for IEDs.
Yeah, IDs they do, but mines they don't. I
No.
have stepped on a mine with the Bradley,
Yeah.
and they had the mine field on.
Shit.
the mine thing on.
So bring your mine detector, have it open, don't rely on it.
Also, one point. This is gonna sound bad, but I like this strategy. Don't be afraid to use the infantry to protect your vehicle.
Oh yeah.
No,
It's
you gotta save the
much
asset.
cheaper to respawn them.
You gotta save these
Yeah,
things are
they
expensive.
are. I like to call them when I'm on an armored vehicle. I like to call them squashies, because there is some situations when you have to sacrifice them to save the vehicle, and it's worth it.
If motherfucker's too fat, run that bitch over. His medic will be right on him.
Yeah, ultimately, if you're working with infantry, it's they should understand that if they don't want to get run over by you, that's on them.
Clear
There
the
is an
road.
RPG gun in front of you. There is an RPG gun in front of you. Your gunner is reloading. Friend is behind you. You don't want to move to kill it. You can run the motherfuckers over.
So now, when you take the Butcher test, you have to identify all these
Yeah,
enemy
that's
vehicles,
why
correct?
I was planning to complete the identification course of the vehicles, but my internet is saying
Yes.
no.
Yes, you do. But for the butcher exams, if your other questions are good, if you answer all the true and falses correctly, which is very easy to do, and all the written stuff, if you don't say absolutely idiotic things, the vehicle identification, you're perfectly fine if you can get it to the same level that I mentioned before. This is
We
generally a BMP, this is generally an MBT, this is generally a BTR. That's
Yeah,
good enough.
Got it.
we covered the stuff on the test already. We covered the PTRs
Okay.
because they're gonna ask you about the PTR 18, the PTR 82. They're gonna ask you about the BMPs, the BMP 1, I think, and the BMP 2, and they're probably gonna ask you about the main battle tank. It's a T-72 that they have in there. I don't know if they change that randomly, but that's
Yeah.
how it passed.
But any BTR, call it a BTR. That's good enough. Let's
Anything-
shoot the things.
Anything that have a chassis that looks like those BTRs, that's gonna have a BTR name on it.
Got it. Yeah, that has that
Anything that
trapezoid.
looks like a BMP that have the BMP chassis, it's
feature
gonna
has
be a
that
BMP with a
trapezoid
different
shape.
number.
You look at it directly, it's a trapezoid. The
Let's shoot a
BTR.
bunker buster.
For the tanks, you just have to recognize the chassis, like in the lower part. If you remember the lower parts, it's all about numbers. T-72, V3, T-72, U6. They're just the same. It's just versions. So if you say this is a T-72, you're gonna pass. They are not gonna follow you for. No, you didn't say this is a T-72B. You know.
No one cares, and it doesn't matter practically. Like it doesn't matter because it doesn't effectively change anything in a kinetic situation.
Yeah. So you just need to identify this is an MBT. This is a BMP. Because it's problematic when you call on the platoon channel. There is an MBT in here, and the entire platoon is freaked out. There is an MBT, and then you find it's a fucking BMP or a BTR. That's gonna get you beaten.
Yeah. Also, they're gonna have you identify an Abrams, so like that is an MBT. Just make sure you mention it's an Abrams because that could be ours depending. So last map the enemy had an Abrams, so yeah.
Yeah.